Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
The fuel queues that we are seeing is a deja vu. We have seen it before, so many times before. And the Renewed Hope agenda, amongst others, has said that that was not going to be our experience anymore. As we speak today, that is not happening. The scorecard is red. We're falling flat on our face because, like the Bourbons of ancient regime in France, we have learned nothing, forgotten nothing. What is the cause? The cause is that we are not governing the oil and gas sector. We are not governing it well. So many opaqueness, so many leakages. I belonged in my career of about 29 to 30 years working in oil and gas. And we kept on saying, if we continue to do the same things, we should not be expecting results that are going to be different. If you plant corn, you cannot be expecting to harvest yams. That industry is reeking with lack of control, corruption, deliberately instituted. Happened a couple of times before. We didn't see consequences for such bad reaction, and so the thing is repeating itself. Everything dovetails the production, the drilling production to the midstream, the refinery, and then to the downstream. The whole gamut of all that is riddled with corruption. We have 4 refineries that we have run to the ground. One of them, by design, we said we must cite, despite the fact that, production, what to call, factor endowment was not there. But we said, okay, look, let's put ourselves together and do the one we put in Kaduna. Okay, eventually we realized that we could use it for bitumen and things like that. Notwithstanding, it has not thrived. We have what we call turnaround maintenance that has got trillions of petrodollars. It's gone down the drain. And having run our refineries to the ground, today those refineries are sitting on what we call a bed of oil. Meaning, even if anybody wanted to come and say to revamp it, like your Tokumbo, knocked engine, you want to rebore it, it's sitting on what needs to be remediated, that is going to despoil the environment the more. And serious-minded investors who wants to come there will have to first of all do a lot of cleanup because it has to be environmental friendly. We are not seeing that. What we are doing is we are just patching and repatching and repatching and repatching. And if you look at there, I'll come to the midstream. You come to the downstream. The downstream has nothing to be able to take locally so that, the cost of transportation logistics will be taken out normally. We have to depend on imports. We are producing, yet we are importing. The first contradiction. But for you to import, you have to have what you call foreign exchange to be able to get it import. We export our crude on Platte. Our Brent crude is one of the best, sweet Brent is one of the best in the world. We take these barrels out. By the time we take it to go create jobs elsewhere, the yield under normal circumstances, assuming if you are trying to refine them locally, is close to about 30 or 35 derivatives. You only get back petrol, which means a lot of things have gone under the table. Transparency International has spoken about this. In fact, Mr. Femi Falana had made a lot of publications about 4 legs go out, only one toe comes back. Why should that be? And at a time when we are not producing, our revenue has gone down, oil thefts, just name them. It has been with us all this while. We have decided not to look at it critically, and one factor of it is back in the day, we had ministers of petroleum who were well honed and who knew their onions. Since the advent, 20 years ago, starting with President Obasanjo, they made themselves to be the minister of oil and gas and petroleum resources. Doing what? Superintending over what? What they know little or nothing about. And when the technocrats get in there and try to give advice, you get advice from above. So that is the reason why we are exactly where we are. We have spent so much money. We are spending so much money. So many people are piling to the banks. It's now a big international cartel business where whatever it is that we import finds its way to our neighbors. We are subsidizing them. So the people who are working and call themselves businessmen here, because we have a price cap at what we are going to sell, say at 100 naira, and you can sell it at 20,000 naira. Will you stay here? You will not stay here. So with the dislocation and the distortion of appropriate pricing has not been. And it has never been like that from the onset. Before the military came, we had the refineries working. It was the Port Harcourt refinery was going, and Shell was doing the right things until Murtala Obasanjo regime, as part of indigenous, just came, and then something that they call federal character populated the whole place with misfits that is suffering it up till tomorrow. People who know next to nothing now came and took positions. We've not been able to get out of that. Then at that time also, the petrol we use, you see them super, ordinary, they come at different prices. But this military now then came and said that we are going to equalize prices. They introduced Petroleum Equalization Fund, whereby they say if I am staying in Lagos, the price I'm going to buy petrol will be the same price we are going to buy it at Kwara Namoda in the north or somewhere in the southeast. Whereas the yam that you plant in the middle belt, the cost of that yam for people in the middle belt is not the same as the cost of yam in Lagos, because you have to add logistics. So what Petroleum Equalization Fund did was to now open eyes into another form of corruption, to say the petrol here in this part of the country will be sold at the same price as there, and then the costs of taking it out there, government is going to find a way to level it. And then, of course, Nigerians got the wiser for it. So they will take the petrol from Lagos and will say they are going to take it to Kwara Namoda. Instead of taking it to Kwara Namoda, they would divert it go and smuggle it and make a lot of money, yet will come back and then say that they've taken to Kuala Namoda, take double money, just within that ambit. And because we are importing this fuel, the ports and the jetty that we have always been using, we've not invested in there. The whole place is decrepit. And so when the big vessels come, they have to stay in the Mill Sea. Then we get what we call lightering vessels to go and bring them in here. And when the lightering vessels get in there, collect whatever it is, rather than come straight, a number of them just go elsewhere. And they will come and claim what we call subsidy. So the whole thing is just not moving right. In this dispensation, we now then decided that we either have modular refineries, come with its own challenges, and then quite a number of private sector operatives were given license, but they didn't take off because when they did the feasibility, when they put all their costs, including the cost of production, the cost of corruption, and put everything together, the cost that you are going to be selling a liter of petrol is not going to be at the control price. So, NNPC is being the sole importer. All other marketers, so-called Moman back in the day, and the independent marketers they can't find the forex. So we are depending on NNPC. It is what NNPC says. Along the line, we said we are not paying subsidy. The subsidy is gone. But everybody knows that subsidy is not gone. We are still paying a lot of subsidies. A lot of corruption is still going on there. Is the reason why we still have the queues that we have. We continue to have the queues that we have until we now then say enough is enough. Part of the enough is enough came with the issue of governance, and bad governance, including the NNPC. What is going on in NNPC? Why are we having the challenge that came alongside Dangote refinery, private refinery, the largest in the whole world? Along the line, I'm not somebody who will always support monopolies kind of tendencies, but look, this guy brought it in on, and then he was goaded on, and then suddenly we found that the scandal news and notes started coming. Sulfur content of diesel is not good. It was not tested here and there. I was part and parcel of a testing program when they brought contaminated fuel into this country at some time. The bad boys are smiling to the bank. They are riding private jets. Those of us that are innocent are today where we are. Quite a number of my colleagues lost their lives in that process. So the whole place is thinking, so what should we do? Pure and simple. I like Professor Akunyili's prescription. You are going on the wrong path. Raise your hand. Admit that you've made a mistake. From there, begin to recalibrate and retrace your steps. The president has no business being the Minister of Petroleum Resources. We tried it at one time, during Jonathan's time. We had Dizani Madwe came in. I don't know how it all ended. So it has to be real governance. The NNPC lately published their account for year 2023. In all my life as an accountant and as a reporting accountant, I've never seen a situation where you prepare your results. I haven't seen the results. You now begin to make commentaries on the result. Oh, I made 3 trillion. I'm going to declare a dividend of 2 billion. Just the impression that the whole thing was doctor who audited the account. NNPCs whose account has not been audited for years until lately. And when the thing was audited, we started finding loopholes in there. Stake in Dangote should be a particular percentage. It should not be a particular percentage. The books will not tell a lie. So, because we have not learned that our lesson, this situation will come up. So, Dora Akinwunmi said, we raise our hands, let the authorities come and say, we have stolen ourselves blind. Those who are responsible for terrorist financing, which the government know, let's prosecute them. Those who have been responsible for the scam that has happened in petroleum resource management, we know them. Some of them have found themselves back as governors. Some of them have found themselves back in national and state assemblies. We know that that is going on. That is not a sign of seriousness. So let's raise it and say we have done it all wrong. Whether it's in the oil and gas, whether in security, whether in education, whether it's in health, there are SDG goals. There are 17 of them. In Nigeria today, it's showing red, meaning danger. We have to find a way to restructure. This tinkering of an attempt, local government autonomy, yes, in the right direction, if it can come in the right direction. But there's no need for you to remove a headache and then put it on your knee, and then you begin to have knee ache. We must get back to winning ways by listening to the patriots. Nigeria is negotiable. We need to all come together to help engender trust. Our elections are not turning out into something that everybody wants to accept. So, because they all have a linkage to all this that we are talking about, food insecurity that we have, the normal other insecurity that we have, they all have a dovetail. We must get proper governance. So the president need not be the Minister of Petroleum. We must look for technocrats and people of proven integrity. And there are many of them. They are in Saudi Aramco. Nigerians. They are in Petrobras. Nigerians. They have to flee. This country is just not up for them. We can bring them back to rebuild, to restructure, and to make sure that that is properly governed. Finally, in telling ourselves the truth, we can't eat our cake and have it. Nigerians must understand the fact that until we get local capacity refinery to work one way or the other, including finding a way around the Dangote, the prices are not going to be so affordable. But with time, when you now have competition coming in, like you have in telecoms, efficiency and effectiveness will come in, and the price will naturally find its way. We need those patriotism, but for now, whether at the center, whether at the subnational, whether at the National Assembly, we need a situation where we should not get a few of us smiling to the banks at the detriment of others. A word is enough for the wise. The fuel queues that you are seeing is one amongst many that can throw up negative protests. The Tunisian example is still there. Somebody can set himself or herself on fire, and before you can see Jack Robinson, to have slipped through our hands. The end bad governance that we had, where we saw people that are hungry and angry over and above, waiting army to unleash, to swallow any other person that they find on their way. It's out there. We can do it. If Rwanda did it in 1994, Rwanda was going down, just like Nigeria was going down, but they got it right and said, look, yeah, that's how things, over religiosity should not be part of our game. And we should recognize, as our national anthem has indicated, we have different tribes, we have different tongues, but we can come together in unity and in synergy at our different paces to get back to winning ways. Thank you very much.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.